Article 13.3 of the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms
guarantees to all persons in Jamaica
the right compatible with sustainable development,
to enjoy a healthy and productive environment,
free from the threat of injury or damage from environmental abuse
and degradation of the ecological heritage.
The individual's responsibility is to protect it, to maintain the right. We refuse to give up the right.
I'm a very outspoken person, and I cannot see the truth and really hide it.
Do not see yourself as insignificant. One of the simplest questions to ask, is this right? Start from that point.
People do know the issues that are at hand. People are just afraid to stop earning an income. People are afraid to be targeted. People are afraid to want to be different.
The basic element to empowering people is to inform them. It's knowledge. Knowledge is something that cannot be taken away. Once you have the information, it's yours, and it's yours to use.
When you're passing Jamaica, if you're a newcomer or alien to the community, they can smell it from a mile away.
I need to know what exactly is being emitted from this factory. How does it affect my health? This is about me and my survival and about my children and their survival within this community. Because the doctors were able to say, as a voice, that incidences of respiratory illnesses and sinusitis has grown significantly in our community.
The health survey that we did was to find out the impact of the pollution in our community. And from the results, we found that over 50% of the persons we interviewed had bronchitis and asthma.
I am severely allergic now. I'm allergic to almost everything under the sun. All year round I have an issue and I keep having severe bouts of sinusitis, which the doctors basically just manage. They can't do anything to change or to reverse because it's all linked to this caustic that we're able to smell as we stand here and as I'm speaking with you.
I taught at Hayes Primary and Junior High. I'm now retired. And I noticed that a lot of students from over here, they suffer respiratory problems. They even have to be hospitalized.
Students have all sorts of skin ailments as well.
We are at Hayes, near the Mud Lake, which is less than 200 yards away from where the persons are living. We most want to know about the water situation because the water is not like before.
Drinking water, the taste, you have a taste to it, like a funny taste. It's kind of harsher than where I was living before.
The water has a stench. It's hard to drink. When you catch the water and put it down, it messes up your pot. The container that you fill it in, it messes it up also. So now, instead of I catch the water from the tap to drink, I may be one of the fortunate one. I could buy bottled water and drink, but how long can I do that?
In 2002, the government passed the Access to Information Act, and since that time, every citizen has the right to request official documents from most public authorities. The right to information means that any regular citizen can obtain information that's relevant for their health, relevant for their environment, relevant for their livelihood. They can understand the decision-making process for certain types of developments that might affect them, and it allows them to participate in a meaningful way. For example, it's been used to obtain monitoring reports for quarry sites. It's been used to obtain licenses and leases for mining and for quarrying. And it's also been used to obtain maps that showed areas that have been mined out and rehabilitated. If you're not quite sure what is the name of the document or the type of document that you want, but you have an idea of the type of information that you're looking for, like for instance, you might want to know what is the impact to the water quality as a result of a particular development, then it's best to cast your net widely. When you're requesting the information, you could, for example, ask for all documents that contain impacts on water quality from the proposed development.
Something new is happening, find out what it is and find out what are the processes involved in what is happening. Find out how these processes will affect your health, the health of your family, as well as the overall health of the community.
We got used to the bad mining practices and we more or less thought it was the norm. But arising from the EIA, we have seen that mining activities should follow certain guidelines. Stakeholders are responsible for monitoring the mining companies. We had a public consultation here at St. Martin's Mission. We basically contributed to guidelines for granting them permit. I was told by a representative at NEPA, they took into consideration the community's comments because the mining activity would have been going on for over 100 years, I understand. And we have never had an environmental impact assessment. We have never had that done. The EIA has empowered us and our actions to realize that when we go to the stakeholders, we have to have the proof there. Where in the past, when we would have meetings or so on, we just basically talk and complain. But now we gather the proof to say, listen, this is the trucks operating, time, documentation. I am very passionate about pushing and fighting the cause to its end, because if we don't, or well, if I don't do it, who would?
Your first step is to identify the problems caused by mining and quarrying in your community. Do you have bad smells, a lot of dust and air pollution, water that tastes bad, a lot of noise, crops that aren't growing like they used to, toxic spills and runoff, open pits, or dangerously discarded waste? Identifying these problems will help you decide what to test for.
Document what you find. Keep copies of everything. Read a lot. Stop expecting somebody else to come and tell you. Don't take the attitude that if it were bad, somebody would have told me. If you want to know, go and do the research yourself.
If I see a lot of emissions, that thick black or grey thing coming out of the chimney, if I have my phone with me, I'll take it and snap a quick picture. If I see the drinking water look anyway that it's not supposed to, snap it in a picture. The emissions, if I see it on my house top, I use my phone, snap a picture.
We'll be keeping a log of even the noise that is being made, predominantly by the trucks that convey their material and the hours that they work. And these logs are in keeping with the conditions of their operational permit. There have been breaches, and we have made the NEPA aware of it. We have made Mines and Geology aware of the breaches.
Nowadays, some of the typical conditions that the government will require mining companies to comply with is that they have to establish complaints registers.
The complaints registry, wow, that is very elusive. Hi, how do you do? Mr. Patel said that the complaints registry would be here. Do you have it? Do you know where it is?
Yes, not really.
No, I'm not on them.
Oh, and then no, Table distribution sheet. No, these are company material. Instead of just having heated debates, now we can collect data, soil, air, and water samples, and we can point out that, listen, this is how you're affecting the community.
When doing pollution testing, make sure to monitor all places that are affected. Test at regular intervals using the exact same methods at the same time of day, and test for at least 6 months.
It's just to get some material in there.
When monitoring soil quality, if your problem is spread over a large area, test different types of soil.
Have to be as sanitized as possible.
A simple way to test for air pollution is to take a clean, white ceramic plate that has never been used before and place it where dust gathers, such as on a table in your house, on the roof of a building, or on a wall. Leave the plate outside until you can see the dust. When you send the swipe sample to the lab, they will test for what is in the dust.
Let the pipe run for a few minutes to release any impurities in it.
When testing water quality, you can test for domestic drinking water, underground water, runoff, stagnant pooling water, and spring or river water. Here in front of Jamaica's factory in Hayes, Clarendon, you can smell a kind of caustic odor in the air. It burns your chest, you feel it in your throat. Community members really want to look into testing for gases in the future to find out what is really causing this caustic smell in the air. In all your testing, make sure you wear gloves to not contaminate your samples. Follow all lab instructions, store your samples properly, and fill out all paperwork carefully and accurately before sending to the lab. Record, compile, and keep all your results in good order.
Well, my first impression, it was a unique school by itself. Much improvement was needed. We sat and we looked at it and we worked together and we are changing things. Well, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of social development of the students, in terms of literacy and numeracy, all these areas were areas of interest that needed to be changed. I found out that the cement company was mining or is mining a few meters or miles away from the school. Having done that background check, I also was told that they have adopted the school, but when I look around, I said that the reflection of the adoption was very poor. So I made a few calls and write a few letters and asked them to do something for the school. After they came, they gave us some assurance that they'll be doing some work. After a while, there was nothing forthcoming, so what I started to do, we had meetings with PTA. We looked at the safety for the school in terms of for the children. The parents were not so happy because the fencing was down. We had numerous meetings with regards to that, and we wrote cement company about the interests of the students. And 2-3 letters, then they sent someone, and then they look at the seriousness of it. And then after a while, they came in and they fixed the drain, because the drain actually causes the problem. Having done that, they also repaired the fencing for us. And they are also now in the process of doing a paving at the front for us. They have been very much instrumental in assisting the school in the way forward. It is important to act in everything, in every situation, wherever you live, whatever you're doing around your environment is supposed to be. You're supposed to feel, a sense of peace, a sense of quietness, a fresh air. Everyone is entitled to all these. So, if you're in a situation or a community where these things are not, our place is not conducive for living, then as an individual, you should speak out.
If the Jamaica implement coal system, our house value will be going right down,
as it is
and it will be affecting our health, right? Mm-hmm. And they are going to, because the coal cannot store in no closed area, open area.
Yes, that's
and the train will be carried from Rocky Point to the plant where it will be exposed a lot of coal dust into that community, Carpiece community. When it's store again, when the breeze blow east to northwest, it will affect the whole entire community.
So the question remains is, what will we do to prevent?
Well, what we can do, we can go to various churches and school and educate the community about it, and we carry down a lot of flyers from America where we can show them, demonstrate to them, demonstrate to them the effect of the coal industry.
Because nobody wants it in the country.
Nobody wants it.
I think we should create a PowerPoint as to educate the persons in the community to show them how coal will affect them. And
if we even have to use the media to help us to expose the danger of it.
So JET is holding a meeting in September with all the stakeholders.
Right.
So we are going to gather our people, have our discussion, and then we go and confront them about this, because we cannot take this.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome again. This is the fourth of one of these types of meetings that we've had under this project.
And we want NEPA, we want the government. We need to know, they need to have meetings with the people in the community.
So it's better than come to the people and explain to the people what is wrong, what is it.
it's a good feeling to know you're a part of something. Persons, you're in a group, you're helping your community. It's a very good feeling. You're a step closer in bringing our environment to the state it should be. I would like to see my community breathing normal, healthy air, drinking clean, purified water.
Well, I believe every community should have a little organized environmental group, and that will help strengthen the entire Jamaica. Every community have a little environmental, and we come together and we have a meeting, whether every 3 quarters, every 6 months, and know the impact that going into other communities.
Change is not going to come overnight, so we have to keep working to get the result we want. So we have to keep having meetings like this. Have meeting, then give them time and see if they will show the result we need. If not, have another meeting. Persevere.